This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, everyone. I am Amanda Daniels. Today, we will be talking about admissions essays for college. So, what is a college admission essay? I'm sure you've all heard about it, but it allows you to tell a college who you are as a person. You're going to want to give background information on why you are who you are. A lot of essays will ask you to talk about different challenges and adversities that you've overcome. Another good thing to talk about is what you will bring to the college, um, as well as your values and your thought processes. It also allows you to persuade the admission committee that you are worthy of admission. There are thousands of students applying to these colleges, and one way to stand out amongst these thousands of other students is your admission essay. Um, you'll be able to show off your writing abilities and reasonable goals and expectations will, you'll be able to explain those, express those. So you might be wondering, what do I write about? So you're going to want to show them who you are as a person. Like I said, they're not meant to repeat what you filled out on your application regarding GPA, things you did in high school. All of that is already covered. This is a way to show what makes you unique. So some brainstorm ideas are, what are your strengths and positive personality traits, your talents and skills, and also your hobbies or passions outside of school. So, you're still stuck. You still don't know what to write about. And it can be hard, to think of something personal and actually tell it as a story or explain it. And that's okay. So, here are a few more ideas. If you were to ask your family or friends to describe you in 3 words, what would they say and why? And you would tell your story. Another one is, what role do you believe you play in your community? Explain and give examples. So this could have to do with the volunteer work that you've done throughout your high school career or experience. The third one is, have you faced challenges or overcame any adversities that you've been through? Explain and tell a story. The fourth one, describe your family and or background. How many siblings do you have? Who raised you? What important values did you learn from your family? So some tips on how to get started. Decide what college you want to apply to, and what you want them to know about you. A big way to stand out is to do it in a creative way. So, with accomplishing this, you want to start with making an outline, and make sure you convey all the important information so it is in a good flow. Avoid saying I too much. Even though a lot of these essays are going to ask you about yourself, you don't want to overuse I. It can be repetitive and it can get kind of boring when the reader or audience is reading your essay. You definitely want to make sure you use good grammar, so spelling, sentence structure, all of that. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to get it reviewed by maybe your English teacher. You want to show and not just tell, so you want to use imagery. You want to use sensory detail to capture the reader's attention. You want to avoid discussing controversial topics, i.e., politics, war, or religion. I know we want to think everyone in this world is kumbaya and good people, but there are people that are going to be reading your essays that do have certain biases that can affect what they think about your essay, which in turn can affect your admission. Also, avoid cliche topics like how I won the big game. So that's, you know, I mean, you could, but it is just a cliche topic. There might be a lot of other students writing similar stories of that, and most of the time they all sound the same. So these essays, like I said, are a way to stand out. So you want to avoid cliche topics. Um, don't talk about your boyfriend or girlfriend. Just don't. It's just not a way to stand out and a way to um, say, hey, this is what I have to offer. This is something about me um, that makes me stand out from the rest of the crowd. And don't write about any negative experience or a time you broke the law. There's a chance to show a college something positive about you, and breaking the law is not positive. So, review and critique. So, whenever you're finished writing your essay, you definitely want to review it yourself or have someone else look over it. So, a few things to ask yourself. Does the essay capture the reader's attention? Does the essay fully and clearly address the prompt? Is the story or content unique and interesting? Is there an overall main idea, theme, or thesis statement? Does the essay reveal something new about the writer? So, with that being said, you don't want to go off on a tangent and completely forget about the prompt you're writing and have to either redo it or you submit something that isn't relevant to what they're asking. A few more. Does the essay have a definite beginning, middle, end? Are the transitions in place between sentences and paragraphs making a smooth read? Again, you don't want it to be choppy and you don't want the reader to get lost in your text. Is the essay free of grammatical and spelling and mechanical errors? Again, you want to make sure that there is no grammatical errors. That is something that will, if you do have grammatical errors, that's something that will make you stand out in a not so good way. Does the essay communicate that the writer is a strong candidate for admission? Like I said, you want to stand out. So, supplemental essays are essays on top of the essay about yourself. Some colleges may require this, some may not. A lot do though. So, usually they're shorter, 150 to 250 words. You don't have a lot of time or a lot of space, words to tell the story or explain what you're explaining. So you are going to take a more direct approach. And like I said, it's often required by many colleges when applying to the school. So some sample essay topics or examples of what you might be asked is, why are you interested in blank university? So if you are wanting to go to Purdue, why are you interested in Purdue? What interests you about your intended major? So, for example, I'm a social work major. When I was going into school, I did not have that in mind, but I would have explained why I want, so, why I want to major in social work, what led me to want to major in social work, and what will be brought out of majoring in that field. Another one is describe a situation where a decision or an action you took was wrong or didn't turn out as you hoped. How did you reassess the situation? How did you rectify the situation? What would you have done differently? And what did you learn? So some tips for supplemental essays. You definitely want to research your college and the major. So you don't, in case they ask something about, why are you interested in this college? What interests you about the major you are selecting? You don't want to be deer in the headlights and not know at all anything about the college or the major. So maybe you'll mention like different classes that you've seen on their degree plan. Most colleges, if not all colleges, have just a basic layout of each degree plan and the different colleges that you can, or the different classes that you can take. And so that's something interesting. Also, there are certain activities and programs on campus that you might want to join. So that would be a good thing to incorporate whenever you're talking about the university or college. Excuse me. Is there something specific you're hoping to bring to the school? What about you? What do you have to offer to the school? A lot of colleges and admissions committees like to see that and like to hear that from students. And also think about if you toured the college, what did what stood out? What maybe the library, you really liked their library, or their cafe area, or the layout of the buildings, anything. So you're going to want to write this essay so that it's strong, specific, and targeted to that specific college. And a way to know is if it's targeted to that specific college. If you write an essay and you can attach this essay to multiple college applications, it's probably not a good essay because it's not going into depth about that particular school. So start writing your essays early, as it does take time to revise your essays, and you may have 6 to 10 distinct different essays that you're having to write depending on how many colleges you apply to. Definitely don't procrastinate. Ask friends, family, and teachers, as well as counselors for help. And remember, have fun and be creative. Any questions?
I think you were very thorough, honestly, because I'm applying to grad schools pretty soon, so that was actually really helpful.
Good job, Amanda. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, good job, Amanda.